Progress.
Get the meeting for the Central Berkshire Regional School District School Committee in progress. So please note that this meeting is being audio and video recorded. Most of the shown are examples. They may be omitted or amended. Anybody else recording?
Hi, Berkshire.
Hi, Berkshire, is that Dalton? Okay. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So, next meeting, we have to vote to elect the secretary, and we haven't done that, but I can appoint the secretary for the day, and I'm appointing Mr. Knoll as our secretary for the day. So, any responses from the audience? How about online?
No.
Okay, Sophie Altman is on. Sophie, you're up.
Roll call. Roll call.
Oh, sorry, hold up, Sophie, I forgot.
It's okay, you're fine, don't worry.
Okay, Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Here.
Dr. Eberwein, Todd Emerson,
Here.
Mr. Farella,
Here.
Ellen Latizori, Elizabeth Lounsbury, John Mason. Here. Stephen Morantz. Elizabeth Oakes,
Here.
Robert Ronzio, Mr. Stewart,
Here.
Sarah Tucker, Kimberly Weatherall,
Here.
and Rich Peters.
Here, we do have a quorum. Now, Sophie, if you would.
Hello, everybody. My only update is that the class of 2026 car wash that was supposed to take place on July 26th was postponed to either Saturday, August 9th or Sunday, the 10th from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And it's still happening at the Dalton CRA.
Okay. Thanks, Sophie.
No problem.
All right. The financial reports, we had several warrants previously signed, and we have a series of fundraisers to approve. The first up is the approval of the Nessacus Regional Middle School Class of 2030 Bake Sale fundraiser.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approves a bake sale fundraiser, date to be determined for the class of 2030 to raise money for the end of the year 8th grade activities.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason. Yes. Elizabeth Oakes,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Next up is the approval of Nessacus Class of 2030 Butter Braids fundraiser.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approves a butter braid fundraiser September 22nd through October 6th, 2025 for the class of 2030 to raise money for the end of the year 8th grade activities.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oakes,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Next up is the acceptance of donations to the CBRSD Central General Scholarship Fund. Mr. Carwash.
Dave, that's the one too. She just changed the.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
Sophie just said that, the dates were gonna change. We have up July 26th on here, so I'm just gonna change that to be determined. Be it resolved, that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approves a car wash, with a date to be determined for the class of 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
yes, and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Now the scholarship fund.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee accepts the following donation totaling $75 to the General Scholarship Fund as recommended by the district treasurers. Those amounts are $25 from Elizabeth and Frank Shepard for the Marnie Gallagher Scholarship and $50 from Marilyn Johnson for the Marnie Gallagher Scholarship.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Next up, acceptance of donation to Kittredge Elementary School.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee accept the donation of $103.33 from O'Connor Studio to Kittredge Elementary School as recommended by the district treasurer.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Next up, acceptance of donation to Craneville Elementary School.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee accept the donation of $5,000 from Burlington Coat Factory through Adopt a Classroom to Craneville Elementary School.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
Yeah, what is that?
Good question.
So, when Burlington Coat Factory, when they open new places, they pick a school that's local and they, donate $5,000. So we will not be getting $5,000, but it's through the Adopt a Classroom. So the teachers at Craneville would have $5,000 to spend through, vendors they have on the Adopt a Classroom website.
That's good.
Where's the store?
They are opening up in, Pittsfield.
Where Staples was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And it's open to all the teachers.
All teachers at Craneville.
First come, first served.
I'm sure they'll be divvied out.
Well, you just
Roll the
started
dice.
it.
We have to prove it.
I just wonder how that is policed, you know? Do you put a maximum on each teacher or something? I mean, that's
Actually, they do have a nice, system set up, so we can provide the teachers' names and then Burlington Coat will credit each person and they can spend a certain amount.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay, I wondered how that was my question.
I asked that question when I talked to them, so.
Okay, well, we do have the principal here. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. And that's it for the donations. Next up, the Secretary's report, approval of minute. Can I get a motion for approval of minutes of the regular meeting of June 12th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? A roll call vote, please.
Okay, Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. All right, next up is superintendent reports and recommendations, and Mr. Hall with his first superintendent report.
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you. Better than I thought. All right. So I'm experimenting with a new format for the superintendent's update. I'd like to have, and take some feedback on this, but in here, a section from the director of finance, from the assistant superintendent, and from student services, just to keep you all updated on what's going on month to month. And while I won't speak to all of the things in here, I will provide links so that you can click through and feel free to ask any questions about anything that's included, but I'll try to just highlight a few things that are included, but, so it may get lengthier than this, but it won't take longer to present. I did want to report out that I did attend the new superintendent induction program. I met my mentor, Terry Thomas, who is a current interim superintendent in Gil Montague. She has many years of experience in regional districts. She is also mentoring another person within Berkshire County, so it's given us a chance to connect that way. And overall, it was just a great experience. I am working on my entry plan, which I have to do to meet the requirements of my first year in NISIP. And so what that will allow me to do is to really spend the year learning, and it forced me to take a step back. And what I talked about at our admin retreat was that a pitfall for a leader like me and coming into a district that I've worked in would be just to hit the ground running and thinking that I kind of know the problems and want to fix them. But this program has really, allowed me to think through that a little differently and take a learner's perspective. And I really want to spend some time learning more about the district, more about the communities, and really make sure as we put a plan in place for district improvement that we're really making sure that we're looking at the right problems. So to do that, I will be sending out a draft entry plan in late August, which is really outlining how I'll be collecting that information. I've already reached out to all of the town administrators or select boards. I've heard back from almost all of them and have set up meetings either with town administrators or in process of finding select board meetings to go to. And also, I've started meeting with community members and families. I have an open invitation that I sent out through my first newsletter, and is also embedded within my email signature. That is a link to a calendar that I've scheduled 2 hours twice a week to have open for community conversations, and they filled up, not completely, but pretty close, and I've just had some pretty good conversations. I'm using that as opportunities to learn and taking notes that I'll include that data in my entry plan. So thank you for providing me the opportunity to do that. We kicked off the new school year at the admin retreat, where we went to the Berkshire Innovation Center and went off-site for a day to kind of reset and restart the school year. We had a great day. We looked at our early release MCAS data, celebrated some wins, and started planning for next year's school improvement planning. One other thing I wanted to make sure that I highlighted, and Greg, you can jump in here if you'd like, the summer meals program that we started has been phenomenal. We've provided almost 12,000 meals so far. And so the work that food service is doing to prepare the meals and distribute them is outstanding. We're definitely providing a needed resource for the community. The line, I went over to see it in action in the second week. I was there at around 8:15, which is right after it started, and the line was actually wrapped around the whole building. So if you get a sense of the need in our community, it's people are very appreciative, and we spent the first couple of weeks working some kinks out and really trying to make sure that we're meeting demand, and I think we are now. Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to note tonight is that I jumped at a grant opportunity around strengthening school leadership. The Bar Foundation has money set aside for developing strong principals and also just developing school leadership. And we didn't meet the threshold for size. You have to be above a certain number of students, and we just didn't meet it. Lennox, Mount Greylock, and Richmond were also looking at the same grant, so we decided to put a collaborative together quickly, and we applied for a grant for Berkshire County for us to try to pull in some that school leadership training. And the Bar Foundation does weigh collaboratives when they're looking at distributing grants, so we're excited that we'll have an opportunity to pull in some really high-quality, fully funded school leadership, and we should know by early fall whether we receive that. That's all I have for tonight, unless anybody has any questions about anything that I put out.
Just like the summer meals program, how is that funded?
Federally. So this is, yeah. It's reimbursed, yeah, fully reimbursed.
So,
You wanna talk about that? You wanna
Yes.
say that?
So the other two things other than were Kittredge kindergarten class, which we're actually gonna talk about in personnel. We currently have 33 kindergarten students enrolled at Kittredge, which is gonna necessitate some personnel additions, so we're gonna talk about that in personnel. The other thing that I had was the update for the Wacona principal. This was a long process. I'm excited that we found a good fit for Wacona. We really took our time. The first round of interviews from the first posting, we interviewed 4 candidates out of the pool, and did not find what we thought was a match at the time for Wacona. We reopened the search, and we posted it again, and we did receive another pool of applicants, and we interviewed 3. And it was, it resulted in a very, very clear front runner out of that interview process. And Serena Shorter, who is the current principal at Southwick Regional School, actually accepted the position today. And she not only really wowed the committee that we had put together. There were 16 people on the committee, including myself, because of her management and operations, but also her instructional leadership really shined through and throughout her whole interview. When we moved her forward for a second interview, we did that in conjunction with Cindy Weeks Bradley, who works for the equity process, who is our consultant. She actually coaches our principals monthly. She really knows our district well. She knows our leaders well. She coaches me as well. I meet with her once a month to talk about fostering belonging, but also just building capacity around leadership. And so she joined us with the district members. We had a second interview, and at the end of that, it was just solidified that she is the right fit for Central Berkshire. We had a meet and greet, both with staff. About 20 staff showed up, which is pretty good for summertime. And we had a community meet and greet that was also fairly well attended as far as meet and greets go. And we offered feedback based on her interactions and conversations that she had. And it was overwhelming, the positive feedback that we had, and it was almost unanimous that she was a excellent fit for our district. So we are ready to go. And so Serena, she couldn't be here tonight because we literally wrapped that up about an hour before the meeting. But she will be here at the next school committee meeting, and her start date will be August 18th. So it'll be just in time. She's already planning on being in our admin meetings so that she can meet the team and work with the team. But we're really excited that our long search has found the right candidate for Wacona.
Any questions? Comments? Nothing online? All right, thanks. Next up, I just want to reiterate school committee self-evaluation. We had about 4 responses so far. So if you guys would mind just giving us some feedback, that'd be great.
Sorry.
I mean, if we get like, just over 50% would be great.
Can
Then
we
I
do it again?
Speak to it. You can do it again if you want.
Vote
For
early
sure.
in office.
I mean, obviously feedback's a gift, right? And, we're not perfect, we can always improve, right? So, next up is curriculum. Did I pass anybody? Curriculum is up. And is somebody going to speak for curriculum, or did they not meet? They didn't meet. So next up is finance. We did meet.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I do apologize, I had a nice little write-up and I left it on my desk, but I do have my meeting minutes, so. We discussed a few different items. The first was moving funds from accounts with surpluses to accounts with deficits to help balance our budget. And we have a motion there. Specifically, funds are being moved from computer ed software and active employee health insurance line items to cover other insurance, which is to cover property and liability insurance shortages due to rural aid usage and emergency expense to cover the Wacona HVAC issues. So my motion, be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approves the deposit of 2025 transportation reimbursement funds into the.
No, the
No,
other
am I
one.
reading the wrong thing?
Yes.
Ah, there it is. Okay, they're switched, yeah. Right. Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approve fiscal year 2025 end-of-year budget transfers in the amount of $335,409 as recommended by the Finance Subcommittee.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? You not hearing that? Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Caprice,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farrella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries.
All right, the other major item we talked about was transportation reimbursement funds and fiscal year 2027 transportation assessment offsets. So we reviewed our excess and deficiency funds, noting that there is a drop this year due to the district not seeing a health insurance premium holiday, unexpected costs associated with the HVAC system, and the committee using all of our fiscal year 2024 E&D funds for the fiscal year 2026 budget. We discussed moving $200,000 to the regional transportation account to be used for future offsets. We also discussed options for the future around uncertainty with federal funding, which will impact fiscal year 2027. We're in a very good position for fiscal year 2026, but due to receiving a lower amount of rural aid than we have in the past, as of now, it looks like there's about a $600,000 shortfall. But it's still very early and a lot could change between now and then. But it's good to be aware of that. So my motion is to be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee approves the deposit of 2025 transportation reimbursement funds into the Regional Transportation Reimbursement Fund in the amount of $200,000 as recommended by the Finance Subcommittee.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
I thought we were gonna do up to 200,000.
Did I not say that?
Could we amend that?
It is there. I read it
Okay.
wrong. In the amount up to $200,000.
Okay, good catch. Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
and Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries.
All right. And Rich, you let me know, we did talk about the regional agreement a bit, but do you want to save that for later? It's in later on in the agenda, regional agreement.
Yeah, that's fine.
So our next meeting is planned for August 11th at 6:30 PM at Wacona. And our topics are 2027 budget guidelines, special education and substitute teacher rates, and the Beckett Washington roof. Thank you.
Okay.
You said that changes on the federal level will affect the 27 budget.
Is that
We're not seeing anything
Mhm.
affecting us for what's already been approved.
Well, where we're living right now, if you mind if I.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, where we're looking right now for FY '26, we do have feeling we're gonna receive our normal federal funds. What we do know is for our Title I grant and our IDEA, which is our special ed grant, those should be coming in fairly similar to what they've done in the past. That's where a lot of our FTEs live, if they're paraprofessionals, mostly paraprofessionals of those two grants. Those are coming into where we kind of thought they were. Title IIA, which is teacher professional development, Title IV, that's more about equity and diversity in the schools. We're still expecting those, but they could be coming in later, they're saying. The piece that we do know is rural aid. They did cut that from 16 million down to 12 million. So if you remember last year, the budget, we did budget with 1.2 million. In the past, we were receiving around 1.6. So with that cut, we don't know our individual assessment, apportionment of that. Allotment, thank you. But from my calculations, it's pretty close to what we actually budgeted. So we're not gonna have any excess, where last year we had some votes on how we were gonna spend that money, if it was Granville, if it was purchasing things, if it was prepaying for the budget. We're not gonna have that piece looking at FY '27. So where we're living right now in FY '26, I do feel comfortable. I mean, it's gonna be tight, but it's also very early, so. But the FY '24 budget's more on my, FY '27 budget's more on my mind, what that's gonna look like. With our less E&D this year, or the transportation revolving, that's loss of revenue for the FY '27 budget right off the bat, so.
Right, and rural aid is state.
Related,
State level.
yes, but that's. yeah.
Right. So, thank you for budgeting so well then. Thinking ahead.
They did say that they were allocating it using the same formula as they did last year, so we're hopeful. The only thing that could affect us, the amount that we get, would be another district changing either their enrollment or their income, but generally, we should expect about the same as what we received last year.
Proportionally.
Proportionally.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is policy.
So we met on July 2nd, and we finished our review of sections G and H, which was on personnel, and then H was on negotiations. There were only 4 policies in H, so it's rather quick. There were a couple things that we'll return to at our next meeting on August 6th, but we will be discussing section I on instruction, and that's a fairly long one, so that'll probably take us at least 2 meetings. We have 4 sections to go, 2 of them long, 2 of them shorter, so maybe, just maybe, we'll finish by the calendar year, I don't know, knock on wood.
You can exercise.
But that's all I have.
Okay, if nobody has an issue, I will move personnel to the back. We'll just keep going with you, right, since nobody has any issues with that. Okay, so next up then will be safety and wellness.
Okay, so the other Liz will come,
Yes.
basically from the minutes. We met July 14th via Zoom, and 2 topics, the summer meals program, which Superintendent Hinault told us all about. Just to add a couple of things, DESE came to audit the program, they're just required to. made a couple of suggestions, making more ready-to-eat foods, maybe so the kids could prepare them themselves or something. That our district is one of very few in the state that does the take-home meals for the week. A lot of districts just have the kids have to come in for the meal. So, great success. And then Superintendent Hinault gave us the cell phone policy data review. So as you all probably remember, in 2023, we implemented a no cell phones policy and received a grant to purchase the Yonder pouches, which lock the kids' cell phones. So I think that first year might have been a little tough, but it's been a success. Prior to 2023, there were approximately 200 cell phone infractions per month. By May 2024, that number had dropped to 11 per month. So we're up to 20 or fewer per month. But a lot of the Wacona students choose not to use the Yonder pouches, leave their cell phone in the car or their locker. If they are found with it, then they have to stick it in a Yonder pouch till the end of the day. And we are probably ahead of the curve because the state may be implementing a cell phone ban statewide. We don't have to order more Yonder pouches. They're enough for the 6th grade. And data will continue to be reviewed. We're meeting again September 8th. Possible topics may include anxiety and mental health with Lisa Herland, updates on vaping and drug protocols, and a report from Nurse Gallagher on the countywide measles meeting. And that's all I got. Yes.
Just to clarify, those numbers for the cell phone policy are for the middle and high school?
No,
Yeah.
this was just for Wacona,
Just
I
for Wacona.
believe. Was it just for Wacona?
I think it was district-wide.
Okay.
We had
Oh,
0 suspensions
district, yeah.
for, across the district
Yeah.
for cell phone-based infractions, which is pretty impressive, and it was,
Absolutely.
yeah, the number, yeah, so that 200, it was 200 plus per month with Nessacus and Wacona combined, and that was anything that resulted in the detention or more. And so now it's down to like single digits in some months of it. And when we looked at the data, the number of students that were repeat offenders, it was actually like 11, no, I can't remember the number exactly, but it was like 20 students total at each school that had, and then some of them, like, there was a handful that were repeat offenders.
Yeah, here in our notes, it says only 10 detentions for cell phone infractions in the last year.
Yeah.
0 suspensions, 10 detentions. That's it.
Yeah.
How is how do the teachers feel about the policy?
It's been a complete game changer. I'm not exaggerating.
Please,
Those
those
are their words. They feel like they have control of the learning environment again. They feel like they have the students' attention again. I've also had parents reach out, particularly in the first year when there was, the drama around it. And some parents reached out to me and said that they noticed a positive difference in their student at home. Less anxiety, not as depressed or withdrawn. They also requested I not tell the student that they called. But there's been positive feedback on it, and I think Liz hit the nail on the head that we were out ahead of the curve. It was a smart thing to do. This past year was a far better year in the sense that students knew coming in, and they were very good about it. They've been very good about it. Reason why there haven't been many detentions is because when, typically a student, if they get caught with their cell phone, it's enough to just have it pouched for the day. There's enough shame in that, I guess. That they really don't want that to happen again. So that's why you're not getting the repeat offenders. So.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, on the summer meals program, I just want to give a shout out to John. He's doing a fantastic job and he's so enthusiastic about it. He's really embraced it. He really has. So he deserves a lot of credit for how successful it is.
Nice. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll just add, I'm just very encouraged to hear that, I know there's some about the cell phone policy, there's some quantifiable metrics that we can track, like detentions and things, but the qualifiable stuff, like quality of life, student social well-being, to just hear the anecdotal stories that there is this increase in that overall, in the positive direction is very encouraging.
Lunch got louder.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When I tell other administrators that there are no cell phones in our lunchrooms, they don't believe, they think I'm lying. And
I'll add to that. We had our NEASC visit, and there was a NEASC committee member, visiting team member, and they're educators from other schools. And I had to bring her through Main Street during lunchtime, and we got into one of the hallways, and she kind of doubles back, and she goes, I didn't see anybody on cell phones. I said, no, you're not going to see anybody on cell phones at lunch. And she just looked at me, she goes, are you hiring?
I think you mentioned the state was looking at it. I think, from what I understand, New York State is also requiring all the districts to have a policy on that as well.
Yeah.
And those 200 infractions were after that policy got implemented then.
that was prior.
Yeah.
That was the baseline that we took in September, and then we watched the number go down in, what, implementation was in October of that year. So we had September and part of October data, and then you could just see it drop.
But for context, the vast majority of infractions, when the new policy was implemented, happened within the first 3 weeks.
Right.
And the Yonder Pouch folks told us that's exactly how it was gonna go.
People fight it. Then.
Yeah, trying to break into the pouches,
Yeah.
all those things, but it died right down once the reality set in.
Very good. That's great. Okay. Next up is the corner building project. There was some emails going back and forth from the general mechanical subcontractor, and it's still up in the air whether they're going to get anything to us. I know Scan's gonna put a note to them as well, and we haven't heard back, but I'm gonna have to ping them again next week, I think, to keep rattling that chain, make sure we get some compensation there. And then the regional agreement ad hoc, you want to talk to?
Sure, yeah. We had, I don't have the date in front of me, but Cummington did approve the regional agreement. And Windsor will be putting it on their special town meeting that by law needs to be posted 2 weeks before the meeting. We don't know when Dalton will do it, but they will. And I do want to say, for anybody that's listening from Cummington or just Todd, I really appreciated the format of that meeting. For those that weren't there, we were seated in a large room in a circle. Everybody had an opportunity to talk. Everybody had an opportunity to listen. And we heard some really personal feedback from the residents on how the vote of the school building went, how that affected them, how it affected them closing the elementary school. And I also want to thank Dr. Hinault for his leadership in holding the meetings before we got there. Greg, Todd, myself, Rich, we all met, and thank you for your leadership on that, and recognizing that each one of us had special gifts and knowledge that really helped the process. So I look forward to your tenure here, if that's a start, even before you're officially on.
Good meeting.
So I guess it'll come down to whether we finish the regional agreement or policy first.
I think
Race is on.
Race is on.
I don't think it's close. Well, I think
Yeah.
that it's really good news, both Windsor and Dalton plan to have it on their warrant. Windsor actually met this week and voted, the select board and the finance put it on the warrant for the next meeting. We just don't have a date. It's in 3 to 4 weeks. Dalton also agreed to put it on the warrant. That will happen in September. So hopefully, when there's no issues, we get them passed and those two will have a regional, which would be a tremendous success. So hopefully that happens, knock on the wood. Superintendent evaluation ad hoc?
Yeah, we have not yet met, and we will be meeting in September, and a date to be determined, and we look forward to working with Dr. Renault.
Okay, thanks. All right, so now personnel. We will have to go into executive session for personnel, so you want to read that motion for negotiations?
You were gonna,
You want to talk about those?
Oh,
You want to do that first?
Yeah, let's do that first, you're right, sorry, forgot about that, thank you.
No, but it's on the other agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do kindergarten, please.
So the short of it is that kindergarten enrollment numbers at Hinsdale outpaced the projection that we had based on the census, and we are currently at 33 students enrolled for kindergarten. The state max kindergarten is 30, which, and the average is under 20. So we know that smaller kindergarten, if there's anywhere to have a smaller class, kindergarten is the most appropriate. So as we were trying to determine the best course of action, we waited until we knew for sure that every student that was enrolled was indeed planning on coming to Kittredge. We had a couple plans that we vetted and for feasibility. We had originally thought that we could transfer a teacher from Craneville. We had proposed that. We worked with Craneville's admin to come up with a plan for transfer. What we came up against there is that we would really be moving the problem and that we would be creating larger class sizes at Craneville that were really in the like 90th percentile as far as the size of the class. And it really wasn't feasible long-term to make that move. And we looked at every teacher license who was certified to teach kindergarten and looked at many different ways of moving resources around Craneville and the amount of moves that it would take to really not solve the problem. We ended up coming back together and saying that the best option would likely be to post for another position at Kittredge. And Greg was able to not find money, but we were able to, if you want to talk about the financial.
A couple things came in under budget for this year, and with some staff changes where they were under what we budgeted, we do have funds some funds to make it work for a kindergarten teacher. I don't want to say there's all these funds, but it's, yeah. So it's not hitting anywhere hard with this increase.
It's the best thing to do for kids in both of our schools, and we feel strongly that we fully explored every avenue. We do have a backup plan for a transfer if we needed to, but it would result in higher class sizes at Greenville and an involuntary transfer.
Just a quick question, because I see that we have one person from Kittredge leaving due to a reduction in force. And obviously that's everything's not exactly equal, but curious if there's anything there that's possible to finagle.
It's possible. Yeah, it comes down to licensing.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a early education license that covers you up through second grade. And then there's an elementary license that is first grade through sixth grade, so it really is dependent on the person's license. And whether they're able to get both, and in some instances they are, in some instances they're not. But that is something I'm looking at.
A question, I don't know what enrollment is at Beckett Washington, but I hear it keeps going down.
Yeah.
Would it, like, parents ever agree to send their kids there?
So we did talk about that. That was one of our, I mean, we talked about all these options before we came with an FTE. I just think it happened too late in the year for that to be a viable possibility. I mean, to have those conversations with those families that were planning on a kindergarten class in their hometown or from Peru, and now we're busing them up to Beckett, Washington. I think it is a solution, but I think it was planned for that.
Yeah.
It just came too quick.
And in the far reaches of either Beckett or Peru, you're talking about a very lengthy bus ride for students, upwards of 45 minutes for kindergartners. And we could do that, and districts do. It's just, I think that has to be a bigger conversation. And I think it brings up the need for a bigger conversation of how to best use our resources at both Beckett and Kittredge, and be a little bit creative. But I think doing that is going to involve community conversations, pulling in select board members, and really talking it through, so that we make the best decision, and that we can really make sure that, Beckett Elementary is really important to the community, as is Kittredge, and we want to make sure that we're giving the community voice in how we're using those buildings. And it may ultimately end up in a shift of how we're grading, how we're distributing grades but I think that's at least a year away. But we did talk about it pretty extensively.
And that would be a whole other busing logistics and probably another bus contract to do the transfer or something.
We probably could fit it into our current contract, but it would still be logistics.
Additional.
Yeah.
Efforts.
I have a motion if you want me to read that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. And this is on the updated stuff that came out yesterday. Be it resolved that Central Berkshire Regional School District School Committee approves the addition of a full-time teacher for Kittredge Elementary School due to enrollment as recommended by the Personnel Subcommittee.
Second.
Motion is second. I will add that the Personnel Subcommittee did push back a little bit on the administration because it keeps happening. I mean, we don't have tomorrow's newspaper, but one of the things that we agreed to do was to kind of put together a committee, not a committee, but work on a plan to evaluate all the different options available to us ahead of time, so we can really get ahead of this. So next year, maybe we have not a plan to handle it, so we're not adjusting the budget after the budget is approved again, if possible. I mean, we don't have, like I said, we don't have tomorrow's newspaper, but we want to put together a little bit more of a strategy around preparing for the occurrences of this. So, and that was agreed upon mutually. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Any other questions coming? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Green,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yeah.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Okay.
We have those other two as well. Special ed.
Special ed,
teacher,
right. We
and
should-
para.
Yes. You want to read that motion, or we can talk about it?
Do you want to do the teacher first?
We talked about it first and then
Yeah.
do the two motions.
So why don't we do the motions
Okay.
and then talk about it?
So the teacher.
Teacher.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School District School Committee approves the addition of a full-time special education teacher for Nessacus Regional Middle School due to student need as recommended by the Personnel Subcommittee.
Second.
Okay. discussion on this, or you want to go ahead and talk about it?
So with this situation, we have a student that is currently outplaced at a tuition school. They are returning to Nessacus next year. The parents are choosing that's where they want their child to be. We do not have the staff for this student to return as it be right now. We do have funds set aside in our budget for the payment for the tuition, so that does cover the addition of this teacher and a paraprofessional for the student in the sub-separate classroom at Nessacus. So what we did, for the special ed teacher, we are actually looking for a BCBA to work with this student and the classroom. BCBAs were just hard to find. So we did post for board certified behavioral analysis. Thanks. That's what we'd like to find, but we did post for an anticipated BCBA and an anticipated moderate disabilities teacher. We're only gonna hire one. We just don't wanna get to the end of August if we don't have a BCBA and then trying to post for a moderate disabilities teacher, and then we're starting a week before school. So that is the plan, to have one certified staff work with the student and the sub-separate classroom, and a paraprofessional, which would be a second vote. But the cost is covered by the tuition. We have set aside.
Any questions? Yeah, Barbara's going to.
Yeah, I just forgot to ask the other day, will this impact transportation at all? Does the student need special transportation?
We were already providing the tuition to that tuition school, which was in Pittsfield, so it's not gonna be that big of a change.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have two questions. One, sort of, not really off, sort of off topic. Do we still have the district-wide BCBA?
We do.
Okay. And as far as this, can you just remind us sort of what our legal obligations are regarding a student that, a special needs student that, you know, in this situation, I understand that if we can't meet the needs, then, can you just remind us what those obligations are?
Our legal counsel is recommending this move based on the student's IEP. So we'd be, because in order to meet the student's IEP, we need to do the hire. But the parent request to return to Nessacus, it's our legal obligation to meet that request. But in order to meet the needs of the IEP, we have to have a one-to-one, either BCBA or a moderate disabilities teacher. So, legally, the student's our student, we have to provide her an education. And in order to do that, we need to have this hire.
Thank you. That's it.
Anybody else? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Okay, here we go. Dr. Kraft-Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farrella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. And one more.
One more. Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School District School Committee approves the addition of a full-time special education paraprofessional for the Nessacus Regional Middle School due to student need, as recommended by the Personnel Subcommittee.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and this is the same person, so I don't know if there's any other questions. Seeing none, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Kraft-Reese,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farrella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, so next we have to go into an executive session, and we do have to come back out to, for the full committee to vote after executive session. So if we could get a motion ready to go into executive session.
Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee goes into executive session at 7:54 PM in pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21, paragraph A3, to discuss strategy for negotiations with CBEA teachers and paraprofessional units for which the chair has declared an executive session is necessary to protect the bargaining position of the committee, and to reconvene in open session at the conclusion of the executive session.
Second.
Good, motion and second. Roll call vote, please.
Dr. Caprice,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall.
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, okay. So, a couple minutes to get things turned on.
Okay.
All right, we're good? Everybody's back in? Okay, so, can you read the motion, please?
Whereas the professional unit, of the Central Berkshire Education
Sorry.
Whereas the paraprofessional unit of the Central Berkshire Education Association on June 17th, 2025, ratified the settlement agreement between that unit and the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee to be incorporated into a successor contract for the period July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028. Be it resolved that the Central Berkshire Regional School Committee ratifies the settlement agreement between the paraprofessionals unit of the Central Berkshire Education Association and the school committee to be incorporated into a successor contract for the period July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028, as recommended by the committee's bargaining team.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Dr. Caprice,
Absolutely, yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Cosine, for a great process. I see you online there. And we now have a group contract. I think that's,
Yeah.
good job. Yeah, nice work, everybody. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so, any old business? Any new business? Remarks for the good of the committee? How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Everybody come to what? Any discussion on the, end of the meeting? Seeing and hearing, yeah, all, roll call vote.
Dr. Caprice,
Yes.
Charlotte Crane,
Yes.
Todd Emerson,
Yes.
Mr. Farella,
Yes.
John Mason,
Yes.
Elizabeth Oaks,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Yes.
Kimberly Weatherall,
Yes.
Rich Peters.
Yes, motion, meeting adjourned at 8:12. Thank you, everybody.